We continue with our Holy Bible reading, part 33, to request divine union. We're continuing with Numbers, chapter 10, the 2 silver trumpets. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Make 2 silver trumpets for yourself. You shall make them of hammered work. You shall use them to call the congregation and to break the camps. You shall blow the trumpets among them, and all the congregation shall be gathered at the door of the tabernacle of testimony. But if they blow 1 trumpet, all the rulers, the heads of the divisions of Israel, shall gather to you. Then you shall blow the trumpet signal, and the camps camping on the east side shall break camp. Again you shall blow the trumpet signal a second time, and the camps camping on the south side shall break camp. And you shall blow the trumpet signal a third time, and the camps camping on the west side shall break camp. And you shall blow the trumpet signal a 4th time, and the camps camping on the north side shall break camp. They shall blow the trumpet signal when they break camp. Then when you have gathered the congregation together, you shall blow the trumpet, but not the trumpet signal. The sons of Aaron and the priests shall blow the trumpets, and this shall be your custom perpetually throughout your generations. If you should go to war in your land against the enemy who oppresses you, you shall sound the trumpet signal, and you will be remembered before the Lord, and you will be saved from your enemies. Also in the days of your gladness, and in your feasts, in the beginning of your months, you shall blow the trumpets over your whole burnt offerings and the sacrifices of your peace offerings, and they shall be a remembrance for you before your God. I am the Lord your God. Moving on from the camp. Now it came to pass on the 20th day of the 2nd month in the 2nd year that the cloud ascended from the tabernacle of the testimony. Then the children of Israel broke camp with their household goods in the Sinai desert, and the cloud stood in the desert of Paran. So the first ones broke camp at the Lord's voice by the hand of Moses. The division of the camp of the children of Judah was the first to break camp with their army, and over their army was Nahshon the son of Amminadab. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Issachar, and Nathaniel the son of Zuar. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab the son of Helon. Then the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari took down the tabernacle and broke camp, carrying the tabernacle. After this, the division of the camp of Reuben broke camp with their army, and over their army was Elishur the son of Shedeur. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Simeon was Selumiel the son of Zurishaddai. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Gad was Eliasaph the son of Duel. Then the sons of Kohath broke camp, carrying the holy things, and they would set up the tabernacle before their arrival. After this, the division of the camp of the children of Ephraim broke camp with their army, and over their army was Elishama the son of Ammihud. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Manasseh was Gamaliel the son of Pedazur, and over the army of the tribe of the children of Benjamin was Abidam the son of Gideoni. Then the division of the camp of the children of Dan, the last of all the camps with their army, broke camp, and over their army was Ahiezer the son of Ammishaddai. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pagiel the son of Okran. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Naphtali was Ahira the son of Enan. These were the armies of the children of Israel, and they broke camp with their army. Now Moses said to Hobab the son of Reuel the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, We are breaking camp for the place the Lord spoke of, saying, I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord spoke good things concerning Israel. However, he said to them, I will not go, but I will depart to my land and to my relatives. But he replied, Do not leave us, because you were with us in the desert, and you would be an elder among us. It would also be, if you should go with us, that the good things whatsoever the Lord will do for us, the same he will do for you. So they broke camp at the mountain of the Lord for a journey of 3 days, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them for 3 days' journey, to search out the resting place for them. Now it came to pass that when they broke camp with the ark, Moses said, Rise up, O Lord, let your enemies be scattered, and let all who hate you flee. And when the ark rested, he said, "Return, O Lord, to the many thousands in Israel." The cloud also overshadowed them by day when they broke camp. Chapter 11. The people grumble. Now the people were grumbling evilly before the Lord, and the Lord heard them and was provoked to anger. So the fire of the Lord burned among them and utterly destroyed part of the camp. Then the people cried out to Moses, and Moses prayed to the Lord, and the fire was quenched. So he called the name of the place Burning, because fire from the Lord burned among them. Now the mixed multitude among them hungered exceedingly, and sitting down the children of Israel also weeping, and said, "Who will give us meat to eat? We remember the fish we ate freely in Egypt, and the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, the garlic, but now our soul is dried up. There is nothing before our eyes except this manna." Now the manna is like coriander seed, and its form is like the form of ice pellets. The people would go about and gather it, and grind it on millstones, or beat it in the mortar, and then cook it in pots, and make cakes of it. And its flavor was like the taste of the pastry prepared with oil and honey. And when the dew descended on the camp in the night, the manna descended upon it. 70 elders. When Moses heard the people weeping throughout their tribes, every one at his door, and the anger of the Lord was greatly aroused, Moses also was displeased. So Moses said to the Lord, "Why have you maltreated your servant? Why have I not found grace in your sight, that you lay the wrath of this people on me? Did I conceive all these people? Did I beget them, that you should say to me, 'Carry them in your bosom, as a guardian carries a nursing child, to the land you swore to their fathers?' Where am I to get meat to give all these people? For they weep all over me, saying, 'Give us meat that we may eat.' I am not able to bear this people alone, because the burden is too heavy for me. If you treat me like this, kill me here and now, if I find mercy in your sight, and do not let me see my maltreatment." So the Lord said to Moses, "Gather to me 70 men from the elders of Israel, whom you yourself know to be the elders of the people and officers over them. Bring them to the tabernacle of testimony, so they may stand there with you. Then I will descend and talk with you there. I will talk of the Spirit upon you and upon him and put him upon them, and they shall help and bear the wrath of the people, that you yourself may not bear them alone. Then you shall say to the people, 'Sanctify yourselves for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat, for you have wept before the Lord, saying, Who will give us meat to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you meat to eat, and you shall eat. You shall eat not 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but for a whole month you shall eat, until it comes out of your nostrils, and becomes loathsome to you, because you disobey the Lord, who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why did we ever come up out of Egypt?' Then Moses said, The people I am among are 600,000 men on foot, yet you are saying, I will give them meat, so they may eat for a whole month. Shall sheep and oxen be slaughtered for them, to provide enough for them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them, to provide enough for them?" Then the Lord said to Moses, "Is the Lord's hand unable to provide for them? Now you shall know whether or not my word will overtake you." So Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and he gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people and placed them around the tabernacle. Then the Lord descended in the cloud and spoke to him, and took of the Spirit upon him and put him upon the 70 men of the elders. And when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied, although they never did so again. But 2 men remained in the camp, and the name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other was Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them. Now they were among those registered, but had not come to the tabernacle, yet they prophesied in the camp. So a young man ran and told Moses and said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Then Joshua the son of Nun, who was near Moses, one of his choice men, answered and said, Lord, Moses forbid them. Then Moses said to him, Are you jealous for my sake? Would that all the Lord's people might be prophets. Then the Lord would put his Spirit upon them. So Moses returned to the camp, both he and the elders of Israel. the quail. Now a wind went out from the Lord, and brought birds from the sea that migrate together with quail, and cast them upon the camp about a day's journey on this side, and about a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the surface of the ground. Then the people stayed up all that day, all night, and all the next day, and gathered the birds. He who gathered least gathered 10 cores, and they spread the meat out to dry for themselves all around the camp. But while the meat was still between their teeth, before it was chewed, the Lord's anger was aroused against the people, and the Lord struck the people with a very great plague. So he called the name of the place Graves of Lust, because there they buried the people who lusted. Then the people broke camp to go to Hazeroth, and they camped at Hazeroth. Chapter 12. Miriam is disciplined. Now Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he married, for he married an Ethiopian woman. So they said to him, Has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us also? But the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek, more than all men on the face of the earth. Suddenly the Lord said to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, Come out, you 3, to the tabernacle of testimony. So the 3 came out to the tabernacle of testimony. Then the Lord descended in the pillar of cloud, and stood upon the door of the tabernacle of testimony, and he called Aaron and Miriam, and both went forward. Then he said, Hear now my words. Should a prophet of yours belong to the Lord, I would make myself known to him in a vision. I would speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. I speak with him face to face, even in visible form, and not in obscure sayings. And he says, He saw the Lord's glory. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? So the Lord's anger was aroused against him, and he departed. But when the cloud departed from the tabernacle, suddenly Miriam became leprous, as white as snow. Then Aaron turned towards Miriam, and there she was, a leper. So Aaron said to Moses, O my Lord, I beg you, do not lay an extra charge of sin on us, because we were ignorant and did not know we sinned. Do not let her be as one dead, like a miscarriage with its flesh half consumed. So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, Heal her, I beg you, O God. Then the Lord said to Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, would she not be shamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and afterward let her enter. So Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people did not break camp till Miriam was cleansed. After this, the people broke camp at Hazeroth and camped in the desert of Paran. The Spies, chapter 13. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel. From each tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, every man a ruler among them. So Moses sent from the desert of Paran, at the Lord's voice, and all the men were rulers of the children of Israel. Now these were their names: from the tribe of Reuben, Shammua the son of Zakur; from the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat the son of Hori; from the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh; from the tribe of Issachar, Igal the son of Joseph; from the tribe of Ephraim, Hosea the son of Nun; from the tribe of Benjamin, Palti the son of Raphu; from the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel the son of Sodi; from the tribe of Joseph, that is, from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi the son of Susi; from the tribe of Dan, Amiel the son of Gemali; from the tribe of Asher, Sethur the son of Michael; from the tribe of Naphtali, Nahbi the son of Voshi; from the tribe of Gad, Geuel the son of Machi. These are the names of the men Moses sent to spy out the land. Now Moses called Hosea the son of Nun Joshua. So Caleb and Joshua were among them. Then Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, Go up to this desert and go up to the mountain, and you will see the land and the people who dwell upon it. What are they? Are they strong or weak, few or many? Also, what is the land they dwell in? Is it good or bad? Then, too, what about the cities they inhabit? Are they walled or unwalled? Then again, what about the ground? Is it fertile or neglected? Are there trees in it? Persevere, and you shall receive the fruits of the land. Now the days were the days of spring, the forerunner of the grapes. So they went up and spied on the land from the desert of Zin as far as Rehob, near the entrance of Hamath. Then they went up through the desert and came to Hebron, Ahinam, Sheshai, and Talmi, the descendants of Anak, were there. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. Then they came to the valley of Eshcol and surveyed it, and cut down a branch there with one cluster of grapes. They carried it between two of them on a pole. They also brought some of the pomegranates and figs. The place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the clusters of sons of Israel cut down there. Then they returned from spying on the land after 40 days. Now they departed and came back to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel in the desert of Paran at Kadesh. They brought back word with them and to all the congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. Then they told him and said, "We went to the land where you sent us. It truly flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. Nevertheless, the people who dwell in the land are strong. The cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land towards the south. The Hittites, the Evites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and along the banks of the Jordan." Then Caleb quieted the people towards Moses and said to him, "No, but let us go up at once and take possession of it, for we are well able to overcome them." But the men who went up with him said, "We are not going up, for we are unable to go up against them because they are stronger than we." So they instilled a terror for the land which they spied out among the children of Israel, saying, "The land through which we went as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people we saw in it are men of great stature. There we saw the giants, and we seemed like grasshoppers to them, but so we actually were." And we'll continue with chapter 14 of this tomorrow. The people murmur. And now we go to Luke chapter 19. Zacharias is restored. Then Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. Now behind there was a man named Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus is restored, not Zacharias. Zacchaeus is restored. Chapter 19. Then Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. Now behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, who was a chief tax collector, and he was rich. And he sought to see who Jesus was, but could not because of the crowd, for he was of short stature. So he ran ahead and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was going to pass that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said to him, "Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must stay at your house." So he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. But when they saw it, they all complained, saying, "He has gone to be a guest at a man who is a sinner." Then Zacchaeus stood and said to the Lord, "Lord, look, I give half of my goods to the poor, and if I have taken anything from anyone by false accusation, I restore fourfold." And Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which was lost." The parable of the Minas. Now as they heard these things, he spoke another parable, because he was near Jerusalem and because they thought the kingdom of God would appear immediately. Therefore he said, "A certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. So he called 10 of his servants, delivered to them 10 minas, and said to them, 'Do business till I come.' But the citizens hated him and sent a delegation after him, saying, 'We will not have this man to reign over us.' And so it was that when he returned, having received the kingdom, he then commanded these servants to whom he had given the money to be called to him, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then came the first, saying, 'Master, your mina was earned 10 your mina has earned 10 minas. And he said to him, well done, good servant, because you were faithful in a very little, in a very little have authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Master, your mina has earned 5 minas. Likewise he said to him, you also be over 5 cities. Then another came, saying, Master, here is your mina, which I have kept put away in a handkerchief. For I feared you, because you are an austere man. You collect what you do not deposit, and reap what you do not sow. And he said to him, out of your own mouth I will judge you, you wicked servant. You knew that I was an austere man, collecting what I did not deposit, and reaping what I did not sow. Why then did you not put my money in the bank, that at my coming I might have collected it with interest? And he said to those who stood by, take the mina from him and give it to him who has 10 minas. But they said to him, Master, he has 10 minas. For I say to you, that to everyone who has will be given, and from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. But bring here those enemies of mine, who did not want me to reign over them, and slay them before me. The colt borrowed. When he had said this, he went on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. And it came to pass, when he drew near to Bethphage and Bethany, at the mountain called Olivet, that he sent 2 of his disciples, saying, go into the village opposite you, where, as you enter, you will find a colt tied, on which no one has ever sat. Loose it and bring it here. And if anyone asks you, why are you loosing it? Thus you shall say to him, because the Lord has need of it. And those who were sent went their way, and found it just as he had said to them. But as they were loosing the colt, the owners of it said to them, why are you loosing the colt? The Triumphal Entry. And they said, the Lord has need of him. Then they brought him to Jesus, and they drew their own clothes on the colt, and they sat Jesus on him. And as he went, many spread their clothes on the road. And as he was now drawing near the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of the disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works they had done, saying, Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And some of the Pharisees called to him from the crowd, Teacher, you rebuke your disciples. But he answered and said to them, I tell you that if these should keep silent, the stones would immediately cry out. Lament over Jerusalem. Now as he drew near, he saw the city and wept over it, saying, If you had known, even you especially in this your day, the things that make for your peace. But now they are hidden from your eyes, for days will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment around you, surround you and close you in on every side, and level you, and your children within you, to the ground, and they will not leave in you one stone upon another, because you did not know the time of your visitation. Cleansing the temple. Then he went into the temple and began to drive out those who bought and sold in it, saying to them, It is written, My house is a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. Jesus' popularity. And he was teaching daily in the temple, but the chief priests, the scribes, and the leaders of the people sought to destroy him, and were unable to do anything, for all the people were very attentive to hear him. What is Jesus' authority? Chapter 20. Now it happened on one of those days, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the gospel, that the chief priests and the scribes together with the elders confronted him and spoke to him, saying, Tell us, by what authority are you doing these things? Or who is he who gave you this authority? But he answered and said to them, I also will ask you one thing, and answer me. The baptism of John, was it from heaven or from men? And they reasoned among themselves, saying, If we say from heaven, he will say, Why then did you not believe him? But if we say from men, all the people will stone us, for they are persuaded that John is a prophet. So they answered they did not know where it was from. And Jesus said to them, Neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. The wicked vineyard tenants. Then he began to tell the people this parable. A certain man planted a vineyard, leased it to vine dressers, and went into a far country for a long time. Now at vintage time he sent a servant to the vine dressers, that they may give him some of the fruit of the vineyard. But the vine dressers beat him and sent him away empty-handed. Again he sent another servant, and they beat him also, treating him shamefully, and sent him away empty-handed. And again he sent a third, and they wounded him also and cast him out. Then the owner of the vineyard said, "What shall I do? I will send my beloved son. Probably they will respect him when they see him." But when the vine dressers saw him, they reasoned among themselves, saying, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours." So they cast him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, what will the owner of the vineyard do to them? He will come and destroy those vine dressers and give the vineyard to others. And when they heard it, they said, "Certainly not." And then he looked at them and said, "What then is this that is written? The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. Whoever falls on that stone will be broken, but on whoever it falls, it will grind him to powder." And the chief priests and the scribes that very hour sought to lay hands on him, but they feared the people, for they knew that he had spoken this parable against them. "Do we pay taxes to Caesar?" So they watched him, and they sent spies who pretended to be righteous, that they might seize on his words in order to deliver him to the power and the authority of the governor. Then they asked him, saying, "Teacher, we know that you say and teach rightly, and you do not show personal favoritism, but teach the way of God in truth. Is it lawful for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But he perceived their craftiness and said to them, "Why do you test me? Show me a denarius. Whose image and inscription is on it? Whose image and inscription does it have?" They answered and said, "Caesar's." And he said to them, "Render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's." But they could not catch him in his words in the presence of the people, and they marveled at his answer and kept silent. The mystery of resurrection. Then some of the Sadducees, who deny that there is a resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, "Teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies having a wife and he dies without children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died without children, and the second took her as wife and he died childless. Then the third took her, and in the like manner the 7th also, and they left no children and died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife does she become? For all 7 had her as wife." Jesus answered and said to them, "The sons of this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are counted worthy to attain that age and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage, nor can they die any more, for they are equal to the angels and are sons of God, being sons of the resurrection. But even Moses showed in the burning bush passage that the dead are raised, when he called the Lord the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, for he is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him." Then some of the scribes answered and said, "Teacher, you have spoken well." But after that they dared not question him any more. "Son of David, Son of God." Then he said to them, "How can they say that the Christ is the son of David? Now David himself said in the book of Psalms, 'The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand, till I make your enemies your footstool.' Therefore David calls him Lord. How is he then his son?" Beware of the scribes. Then in the hearing of all the people he said to his disciples, "Beware of the scribes who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in the marketplaces, and the best seats in the synagogues, and the best places at feasts, who devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation." And we'll continue with our reading tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you for your support. Christ is risen, truly risen. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, You will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.